Hey guys, today I'm going to make a recap video on two of my day trades I made and a few other ones. FSR, Tesla, BNTX, and MRNA. AJ Trader 7 on Twitter. AwesomeCallsTrading.com, that's where the notes are from. I personally played all of them except for BNTX, but I'm going to go over my FSR and Tesla day trades just because these were just the most accurate on how I should have played them. The first one I'm going to go over is FSR. So it says Morgan Stanley out with a buy rating and 40-point price target. Stock gapping up 3 points. Do not long unless pop at the open to 18.25. Then look for quick 1 to 1.5 push to the upside or a tad more, then watch for topping. Ideally, I would like a snap at the open to 1740 area, then look for a quick 1 to 1.5 point dump on profit taking, then watch for bottom curl bounce. So, but like right from the get-go, as you can see, it just immediately, 830, 831... 832 it broke it, and as you can see right here, 832 I entered on 10 contracts. They were only $74 each. I could have played heavier. I honestly should have. Didn't realize how cheap they were, but it was happening, and I had a default to 10, so I made 150 profit. If I would have bought 100 and spent 7,400, which would have still been fine, I could have made 1,500 right here. So I just regret not sizing up, because when I play MRNA, that's $22,000 on 10. Tesla, that was $9,000. So for me to get in on this at 740 total, I just played the wrong size. But the money was there. Like, had I played 100 contracts and spent $7,400, I would have made 1,500. But unfortunately, I only played 10. I still made the money, and the profit was there to make. That's the point of this. And I was in at 832.57, out at 833.13. That was 16 seconds. I bought and sold 10 with market buy, and then limit sell 10 at 89. I bought it when I got market buy filled. It was at 0.74. So that's how that first trade went, and look, it even went higher. The next minute and the next minute, so 2 more minutes to capture more, and I played way too small a size. So looking back on that, I played it perfectly. I just didn't play big enough size. Should have played 100 contracts, and at that point still would have only been $7,400. So someone that had a smaller account and didn't have a lot of money, buying 1 contract or 2 contracts, you could have made a potential nice bit of profit on a smaller account with this one. So that's a good one. I had bought a $20 strike price on those calls. So the next one was Tesla. Stock gapping flat. Do not long unless pop at the open to 714.50. Then look for nice push to 720 to 722 on it. Then watch for topping. If this snaps 708 at the open, look for nice 8 to 11 point sell off on it, then watch for bottom curl bounce. So as you can see, calls were never a thing today unless you played the bottom curl bounce, which I did. But at morning bell, you definitely shouldn't have entered them, and it didn't even get close. So I just sat there and watched it. And then at 8:43, notice that's my buy time, right? So if you go right here at 8:42, you see, like, it already broke the line, but I actually listened to myself and said, okay, just wait for it to confirm break, and look right here, it broke under his line. So I entered 8:43.42, the exact time that I actually should have entered. I actually got in, and look, I could have rode this thing down. 707.50 puts, it went all the way to 701. Like, that's 5,000. That's 5 points, 2,500 potential profit. And I didn't take that. I just got in and out. In 31 seconds, I made 130, and I walked away. And just on that trade, I scalped it and played that bottom curl move up once it curled up from 701. AJ was live on the mic and said, hey, if it, around 703, 704, he said it's probably got more room down to maybe 700, 701. He even said that. And look, it bounced at 701, so it ended up trending up after that. But that was the morning bell play, 707.50 puts. Whenever he said it snapped 708, that should be clear as day. So, Myrna I also played. Myrna was like super dangerous in the morning, as you can see right here. In that first minute, it already broke the line, just went past AJ's first price target, and almost hit his max price target, just all in that 1 minute. So it's just like, this is pure playing with fire. I could have made money, but you're more likely to lose money on this. Myrna spreads are dangerous. They're very wide. Tread lightly. If you do market buy, get ready to get burned. It's just super dangerous. So proceed with caution. But at the same time, this is to me the new, as Christina in AJ's room says it, is like the NVIDIA biotech version, So now that NVIDIA split, which I'm sad about because it was such a good daily moneymaker for me with that range. After the split, like Darkside said, it's more of like an Apple stock where the range isn't really... I mean, you can definitely still make money, but not like you used to. And so Moderna's kind of filling that role for me. And obviously I was already picking up on that. Then Christina brought it up, so I was like, man, that's how it's going now. But anyway, so... as you can see for Moderna after, it was more of a puts play right here. You would have entered the 480. So it says, another day of fun, gapping flat, do not long unless pop at the open to 490, then look for nice 5 to 8 point push to the upside, then look for a nice sell off. If this snaps 480 at the open, look for nice 8 to 11 point flush or more, then watch for bottom curl bounce on it. So obviously, I didn't play, let's see, Myrna. Yeah, I played Myrna a bunch of times today. But obviously right here, AJ's notes, you would have played the put side. But look what they do to you. Look what the market makers want to do to you. Yeah, you could have made money, right, if you would have entered and broke. But they'll yank it and yank it and yank it. And look, his price target to enter puts was 480. Look how many times it tested that line. It bounced off of it here, bounced this way. This one it surpassed it, but it didn't fill. So it's constantly on this line. And yeah, you could have made money on this over and over again if you played it smart, if you didn't get eaten alive by the huge spreads, and if you did a market buy. But you had to play it smart. This is choppy waters to me. This is so dangerous. And you really didn't, you would have seen this big pop. After that, I mean, you would have been down big. And after it hits his line, look, it actually bounced off his line tender call. So, definitely don't get in calls unless you were playing a curl up. But so right here is really your best point of entry. After you see this big drop, this indecision candle at 846. And then at 847 is when you should have entered puts and wrote it down. So that's how Myrna played out. And then BNTX, another day of fun, gapping up 6 points. Do not long unless pop at the open to 458. Then look for quick 5 to 8 point push to the upside. Then watch for topping. If this snaps 448 at the open, look for nice 7 to 11 point sell off on it. Then watch for bottom curl bounce. So BNTX, yeah, you could have played the shorts covering play like I like to do, but that's really risky. The more I think about it, the more I don't want to do it, to be honest. So you could have made money right there at 830, and then 831, good luck. That candle doesn't look good. It's dropping to his puts line. That's the thing. I've made money with BNTX, but spreads are wide. It moves several points, quick. To me, I never market buy BNTX, just like I never market buy Myrna, so that's a little pro tip for some day traders that are new. When spreads are wide, yeah, you can still make money, especially with this downside. Don't get me wrong. If you play this right and you enter at the right times like you're supposed to without getting burned right here, and you enter even with that wide spread, you're gonna make money. But it's just like, why do that when you could get a limit buy at a better price? And then if it does go the opposite direction, you're not as screwed as you would be if you just did a market buy. That's my point. So with BNTX, same thing as Myrna, like just wide spreads when money's to be made. You know, like look at this, it hit a 464 high. This is 424. That's 40 points, like $20,000 of potential profit on options with a 0.5 delta. So like that's definitely a moneymaker, but it's dangerous. And you just, if you buy on a big wide spread with market buy and it does go down or up like the direction you want, but it's not a big move, like you're gonna pay for it. So just that's why I'm like in and out and I don't ride them a lot. If anything, I'll buy one after I scalped heavy and ride it and try to ride it, But so that's how BNTX played out, and then just something new that I figured I would do and go over at the end. FSR upside on that was, you enter at 1825. It hit its first price target of 1925, a high of 1948. So you would have got 1.23 points, and with something that's a $18 stock, like that's a good move. I don't usually play small caps, so I should have known to play heavier size on that since they were so much cheaper in contracts. So Tesla, that was a downside play from 708 to 705. It hit its first price target, 701.88 low. That was 6 points. 3,000 potential profit on the downside with puts. So Myrna, upside 490 to 495, hit its first price target. It hit a high of 497.49. So that's 7.5 points, another $3,000 to $4,000 of potential profit on calls upside. Downside, you could have played the downside move, but like I said, look, with this upside, this is not recommended. Shorts covering, you have 1 minute to make this money. Like most likely, you're gonna lose. Like I'm gonna say this again, most people who play this shorts covering, they're gonna lose because they're not gonna be fast enough. And they were thinking about it too long, so that means you got a bad entry because you waited too long, or you did it too early like I do sometimes, and then I'm quick so I can at least get out. So just, I would not do this, to be honest. But the downside was the definite move, 480 to 469, hit his second price target, went even lower to 455 for a total of 25 points, like 12,500 potential profit on 10 contracts. That's crazy, so Myrna was a good play, even with the wide spreads. It's just you would have had to enter at the right time and really have been patient with it. So BNTX upside 458 to 463. It hit its first price target. So hit a 464 high, so that was 6 points. 3,000 potential profit for 10 contracts on options. Downside 448 to 437. That's crazy. It hit 411 low, so 37 points. 15, 16, $17,000 on 10 contracts. Like, that's why, like these big money makers right here, like, look at that. Myrna, like, are you picking up a trend here? Myrna, wide spreads, BNTX wide spreads. You know why? Because look what happens when it drops. 37 points, 25 points. So there's a lot of money to be made on the downside, so that's why I always play both directions, so. But that wraps it up. I think AJ has been right 95% of the time since I joined in May. So at this point, I trust his judgment. I play his plays with confidence and conviction, and I'm forever grateful for what he's taught me and everyone else that taught me. So that's it, guys. Y'all have a good one. Let me know what you think.